All right, so my replacement GPU came in today. Turning the lights back on to what they were in all the videos, white, so you can see. So we got the T1 here. I did some math again, and I did some research from the people online on the interwebs. The mesh side panels, these are a lot more high quality than you think they are. Like you'd probably think they're trash, but they're actually pretty good. They're like super dense. Well, not super dense. I don't want to hype them up like they're super like amazing, but they look like they're cheap, but they are real side panels. Okay, maybe this will give you perspective. I'm going to balance the GPU off of one of the side panels. So a GPU is probably like, I don't know, man. Let's just say it's a 5 pound dumbbell, bro. I have no idea. So I'm gonna take it, lift it up. Look, you see that? It's not even bending. No, I don't want to drop the GPU. I just got it right. This is the RMA. I had one of my display ports on this GPU was bad, so I have to swap this now. And no scratches or anything. And the mesh panels do act as a dust filter, so that is nice. So another pro. But anyway, what I am going to try to do is like I said, 42 millimeters of clearance up top, right? And right now, to close the top panel, this fan, even with the washers in between, like Navic Nick's suggestion, is causing this fan's golden, what is it, a hub? Like, so look, basically there's like this point, right, for the fan. I don't know if I can zoom in on this. Okay, hold up. Zoom. No, that's macro. Wait, you can do... Oh, crap. I could do macro and super zoom? This is record... Why is there... I was only able... Wow. Wow, okay, I don't know. Maybe I enabled some feature, bro. This wasn't possible before when video recording. Okay, that's amazing, actually. That's like super zoom. Okay, so if you can see that golden point right there, that point on the slim fan right there, see right there, it touches the motherboard when you push down to close it. So that, see that center point? So a solution that somebody suggested is simply flip this fan so the air is intaking this way. Let's set it back to normal. It intakes through the top and then blows onto the GPU, but then they're fighting, see? Open air cooler, up, down, left, right, every direction. So best way to cool this is have the air go up and out. So here's the thing that I still don't understand. Okay, just think, okay? 42 millimeters, 15 millimeter fan, 27 millimeter rad. We have that much clearance. So how would you mount it? 240 rad on this right here. Then two 15 millimeter slim fans on top. Done. But then look at all this free space I have if I do that. So if you look at the bottom now, right? Look at this. If the rad is here, right? Yeah, sure, the tubing, whatever, a little bit harder to move it because it's an AIO, whatever, who cares? But look at all this clearance. Zoom in. You see that? Can you see that? That's with a 25 mil fan. I could probably push this down. I could definitely stack three. I could stack three slim fans on this one AIO. So I'm gonna try it again. We're gonna try it again with what's it called? The 25 mil fan here. I mean, dude, it's gonna be pushing. It's gonna be pushing on some tubes. So maybe with the fan grill I can make it work. I'm gonna try it, man. I mean, dude, it's gotta be. I think I could do it. And then two slim fans on top. All right. Since I'm using one brown fan, I'm trying to make them all brown fans. So we'll see if I can get this to work. Otherwise, I'll just do Two slim fans on top, I guess. Whatever. Who cares, really? I mean, I'm going to be switching to Zen, so... I really struggle with this 24-pin cable. I have no idea how to wrap it around. Maybe if I wrapped it around behind, so the 24-pin cable goes behind the power supply over there, and then wraps up around here, and then clicks in this way. Because right now it's crushing over here. But then it would make it really hard to do all that. I'm going to order custom cables anyway. It's not worth. I have the low-key Ghostless One custom cables I ordered from Ray, and I'm probably just going to have to contact Ray again for, you know, newer cables. Wow. Okay, I figured out why I'm allowed to do all those features now. When you record in 1080p 30 FPS, it gives me all these features. It's only when I did 4K 60 that I'm not allowed to do that. Let's try to get a 4K 30. So here I am, going to be taking this GPU out, and I am going to be coming up with a solution for these fans. So okay, I have no idea. Okay, there, I got it out. It was like stuck. Right. This part isn't special, but let me fast forward. Alright, so there. I took out the GPU. This one's the one that needs to be RMA'd. So basically this top display port right here, it can only output 1440p 24 hertz. I have no idea why. I've never dropped it. I've never water cooled it. I have no idea. No idea. There's literally nothing wrong with it. So I have to ship this back out tomorrow. So I'll schedule a pickup with UPS, or I'll have to physically go there and drop it off. This is the one that is my replacement. And I'll probably mount this after I'm done doing this water cooling thing with the fans, because, you know, it just makes it harder to reach the screws. Or maybe it doesn't. I have no idea. Alright, let's flip this over. Alright, go get my toolkit. Yeah, so, wait, can you zoom? Oh, you can zoom. I just can't use the optical zoom lens at 4K. But that's nice. That looks good. That looks good. Okay. I had no idea. So yeah, just unscrewing the 15mm fan. Alright, there. It's out. That one's a little bit difficult because it's right next to that strut. Well, not that strut, the standoffs for your GPU. This now should completely just fall out. The GPU shouldn't be held by anything, so yeah, it fell out. Okay, we're good. Okay, so let's just tip this over. The washers have fallen now. 4 washers for the fans. I'm going to try putting 2 slim fins on top, and we're going to put the, yeah. That's a good zoom. We'll zoom out, it's fine. So 2 fans on top. Like I said, I really want to try to get this 25 mil fan below. All right, 25 millimeter fan, 15 millimeter fan is out. Okay, so here's the long bracket for the 240 millimeter radiator. Apparently someone said that this actually lowers clearance by about 2 to 3 millimeters. This one, I have no idea how this would raise to clearance, but I'll take their word for it. 1 second. Dude, there's no way. I think this smaller one lowers it more. This one, if anything, raises it. Man, I have no idea, man. Here, I'll try it. Okay. Update. Alright, we're back, and I actually did math. I whooped out my little tape measure. It's in inches, so I have to convert it into, freedom units. So basically, I'm really trying to get this to work, and I think I can, man. I think I can. It's barely possible, bro, but I really believe, I think I think you can get sight fans that are like 12. There are fans that are like 12 millimeters, bro. Anyway, so look, I fit a 25 mil fan in there with the rad all the way along the edge of the struts. And if you look at, let me get a good grip. Now, if you look at inside, I've routed the tubing. I even have a fan grill in there. It's not screwed in, and the pressure will just hold the fan. It's not going to move, trust me. I could screw in fans right now, and I probably will, but for now I haven't. But yeah, it fits, and it'll move. The issue that I'm facing here is with, I don't know, maybe I'm just not seeing properly. I have no idea. But people online say that if you use the small brackets, which I've seen, I don't know. I think the long brackets are used for mounting 2 fans, right? But somebody online said that this gives you 2 to 3 millimeters more clearance versus this bracket. And I tried, it's both the same thing, I think. Anyway, well, I measured it this time, so I have numbers. Right now in this positioning, the 25 millimeter fan is not inhibiting this from going all the way down. Look, it's all the way down along the bracket. Like, this is not inhibiting it at all. Look, you can see this, right? Oh, no. Look, see, it's flat. It's against it. So that 25 mil fan is fine. It's not doing anything. But the problem is when I put the 15 millimeter fan, it's still not fitting. By I believe like 3 millimeters, I did the math, and I can't fit it on here. Whereas I could run 3 fans on a 27 millimeter rad. I measured my rad with the tolerances, and of course it was in inches. Then I had to measure it to millimeters with a conversion. But with this, it should be possible, but all right, anyway, look, this was 12.7 millimeters of free space I have here. With this here, I think I can gain that extra 3 millimeters by removing this bracket, but the problem is I have no way to mount the rad to it. I guess, does the rad move, or does it just rest along the struts? I know if you use like an XSPC TX240 rad, it can rest on the struts because it's a little bit wider, and then you got a little bit more space, and then that's better. But like this I have nothing. If I don't have, there's no way to attach this radiator. I guess it's just, you know what? I guess it would just hold by the pressure. Let's try that. All right. All right, back again. We are now removing the long bracket, and now we're gonna see if I can push this down even lower. So if we're gonna rest this on the struts, bro, I have no idea if this is the way. We will see it. Alright, I'm gonna keep trying this. Alright, I have good news. The good news for you people with AIOs, I tried to literally crush and shove this in there. And the good news is that if you use the small bracket, the half size bracket, not the long size bracket, yes, you can get this to work. How do you get this to work? You're basically crushing the tubing over here, and when you squeeze it, I was able to squeeze it with the slim fans on top with this 25mm fan. Now, why does it not work? This fan will not spin because this AIO tubing is too thick. And if you had a custom loop, you could just route thinner tubing or route it from over here, I guess. You could do something. Like you could route the tube from... No, I'd still route it here, just thinner tubes, but... Yeah, this isn't working. You can mount 3 15mm fans, so I'm pretty sure you could do that. But if you do the 25mm fan and it can't spin, what you could do is probably do a 25mm fan over here, flipped so it's taking air from here and then blowing down. And if I did that, that would be stupid because the power supply is, you know, like this, and it would just be blowing that heat down. If I had a power supply in the normal configuration, actually, you know what? It probably wouldn't even work because the cables. Wow. Okay. It's a lot of work trying to make this work. So basically, I think the best case scenario would probably be just 3 15mm fans, and then you put a fan grill on the 15mm fan above the power supply intaking, and then two half 15, well, not half, but two 15mm fans basically should be equivalent static pressure to one 25mm fan. Last I checked, unless my math is wrong, I think this was like 1.2, and then that was like 0.7. Yeah, so it's almost half. So if you do 2, it's a little bit more. So like 0.2 more, so 1.4. So yeah, that's definitely better than nothing. Yeah, absolutely with fan grill, that's possible. Yeah, I could do that right now. Alright, so clarification. I have no idea why this is so much of a struggle. But look. This radiator has to be pushed all the way down like this. This has to be completely flat on this. And then over here, there is enough space for the fan and the tubing. I would put the fan grill with the 15mm fan. I think it's the power supply cable over here, or it's just the AIO's fittings, like this. I have no idea what it's getting stuck on, and it won't allow it to go down. But it won't allow it to go down 2 or 3 millimeters, about 3 millimeters max, and that won't allow me to run 3 fans with the AIO. It's just the fittings, and I'm pretty sure all Asetek AIOs are the same. So everybody's gonna have this issue. I just wanted to get 3 fans on here. I'm gonna keep trying. Okay, monumental breakthrough. So basically, the reason why this isn't fitting, finally figured it out, is not because of the rad fittings like I was thinking. Dude, there is a groove. So, hold on. Put this case like... That wasn't the proper way to do that. Alright, so let's see if I can show you. Okay, you know what? There's no point holding this up and then trying to show you like that. That's stupid. I'll just bring the camera. Alright, 1 second. Now I remember. It's because it was on a charger. Alright, look. Maybe you can zoom in. Okay, perfect. Alright. Basically, your radiator mounts onto this bracket right here. Let's zoom out again. And you mount this edge over here, but then it would always be like 2 millimeters too high on this end. So basically all I did is you're supposed to, I put it like this, right? Put it down first, but it won't go because this bracket's in the way, as you can see. So all I did is I noticed that this will go all the way down. There's a groove over here, which doesn't allow it to go down. So let's just, I'll just throw it in there real quick. So you can see that on this end that it can touch, but on the AIO side, it won't go down. Those like 2 millimeters right there. And why was it not doing it with the 25 millimeter fan either? Because there's a groove up here. And since there's a groove up there, it won't go down. But watch, when I pull it this way, I can get that end deeper down there. But I can't because I have this fan mount over here. So I'm going to unscrew this fan, then I'm going to put the radiator in the proper position, then screw in this fan from below. Alright, so I'll do that now. Okay. So if you look now, right, you can see how this is tight, and then this side, because it's not with the grooves in the front, look at how much closer that gap is. Hopefully you can see that. And before I even mount anything, just so I can show you with a regular 15 millimeter fan, this is going to close now. It wasn't because of the fittings, dude. It was just because you have to move it back because it needs about like a finger's worth of gap. Zoom out. So I can put about a finger in there. So now let's try just sliding on a top panel. Yeah, this way. Okay. I'll push down. Push back this, and that's it, dude. That's it, and that's how you fit the 15 millimeter fan on top. And I'm just gonna show you there is clearance for another 15 millimeter fan. So I'm just holding down the bottom panel so you can see. But look, so trying to fit the 25 mil in here, it's gonna touch the tubing, it's gonna scratch, it's not gonna work. But if you try it with, if I had a thinner mesh, if I had a thinner fan grill, maybe. But for now, I can get this to work. So I'm going to do 3 slim fans. Alright. Follow up. Alright, oh, AC's on. Alright, so clarification. It was possible. It was just a lot more difficult than you think it is. Is it worth the trouble? Probably not, but I made it happen. Alright, so look, slim fan with the fan grill, and you have enough clearance to not really crush like the absolute AIO tubes. And my rad, as you can see, is like really close to the edge. And then if you look at the other side, I'm gonna redo my 24 pin cable because I think I can make it look better without buying another cable. It's not like I can get them immediately anyway, so yeah, I still haven't installed that GPU. I had to swap. And then, look, just enough space not to crush the tube. See that? Because of that cutout. Yeah, I mean, the 25 mil is not fitting in here. 5 millimeter thinner rad, yeah, barely fits probably, and still be careful with your tubing. Like, I think 2 people have done 3 fans, XSBC, TX 240 rad. And then look, push-pull. So, right now, this fan is not lining up with the screw holes, but I'll still get it to work, and then I'll update you guys. I just want to position the rad properly, but because of the pressure and like how tight it is, it's not going to move anyway. Okay. Okay, so look. Basically all I'm doing here is similar to how you mount the bigger rads that are wider in width than even this one. So look, you can see that clearance, right? I'm not trying to shove it all the way to the edge like I was doing before. And then, remember I told you it rises over there? So now look, pushing all the way down, and it's just got enough clearance. Let's see if I can show you again. See? It's like basically putting pressure on that end, and then that end, and then that's how it stays in place. So, yeah. And then now I'm going to screw in the rad from the other side. Just thinking, 1 second. I'm wondering if I can fit the 240, the long bracket, and then screw the rad in with the long bracket. And then just push this 15mm fan even lower. I tried it before. I think the long bracket actually raises it 3mm or some shit. Like I don't think it's the same. I think this 120, the half bracket, it actually allows this to get deeper. Or it just see, like even the screw holes are even higher. Yeah, there's no way. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother. This is fine, and I'm gonna screw in the rad now. Alright, so all of my fighting is actually worth. I'm actually pretty happy. So I'm not touching that AIO at all until I switch to Zen 3, and then I'm gonna do a loop. Probably gonna do it all at once because hold on, I never have to take that panel off. I think I can take out the motherboard and all that without taking that off. It's just installing the AIO was hard, but the rest I'm good. Oh wow. You know what? Yeah. Alright, look, bro. Depends if anybody watches this. But look. You want to do 3 fans on your 240mm AIO, and you want a 3-slot case for massive amounts of GPU air cooling. Yeah, this is really good, bro. I mean, you could take this on the airplane, and you wouldn't have to leak your flush your loop. And this is honestly, this is a great looking case, bro. If I put an Accelero 3 on, this is the good GPU. And I might open it up and throw an Accelero 3 on it, but I don't know if I'm gonna bother because the new cards come out in I think like a month. So I'd rather just buy a new card, pop it in, or rather just throw a water block. Like I don't care. I'm not keeping the card. I might sell it, but we'll see. CUDA rendering these videos with DaVinci Resolve Studio is absolutely amazing. If you're using Sony Vegas because you're a boomer like I was, then yeah, stop. Because it renders so much faster. I think it was the Nintendo Switch one, and it rendered it like, I don't even know how fast to say it. Like it was 1 hour with CPU based rendering, and then when you rendered it with the, what is it called? The GPU in CUDA, it was rendered in like, I think, let's say 18 minutes? I think it was 18 minutes. It was a 30-minute video. So it took 1 hour with the CPU based rendering. And I have a 9900K, by the way. So, you know, it's no slouch. It's overclocked decently, so it still stays quiet. If I had a better bin chip, like Optimum, you know, 1.2 gigahertz, oh my god, 1.2 volts, 5 gigahertz. If you could do that, like on load, I don't know what LLC you need, but I mean, if it's stable, who cares? So, I mean, transient response here, but That's build Zoid. But if you, let's say I have better bin chip, you know, I have to do 1.29 volts LLC level 2 on an ASRock Phantom Gaming ITX motherboard for 4.9 gigahertz and 4.6 gigahertz on the cache. And that passes WinPack, Prime 95, and it's just good, you know, it feels nice, it's really nice. So, yeah, I mean, and it doesn't run that loud, it's pretty nice. I have a temperature, I have the fan curve based off the cooling temperatures, and I'm pretty happy with how it performs. So, yeah, I mean, I can run noise levels for you guys, and then especially when the new cards come out. But the one thing that is nice is this does get more airflow than the Ghost, and I do like that the side and the front part, basically the whole part of the case, it just doesn't get really, really hot. Like my Ghost used to get really hot. Like the edges and everything would feel hot. I can't imagine how the Mjolnir would feel. That thing would probably just be a super hot box. Alright, I'm going to get in this last screw. Basically, I'm screwing in the radiator on that 120 mil section, or where the fan would go, and then it's just holding with 4 screws, rad, you know, onto this strut, so it can't move anywhere. It's not going to move anywhere anyway. I showed you how tight it is, but yeah, then I got 2 fans here, and we'll see how this performs, because if I can't get it to work with the XSPC rad, then I'll probably just same thing, only use 3 slim fans. And then if you're using 3 slim fans, you could use chromax. If this was a black case, then, and I didn't put the silver, because I like how the cream and the silver matches. I like that. But I mean, who knows? If it bothers me, I'll just get 3 chromax fans, I guess. I don't know. It depends. We'll see if it bothers me. Alright, back again. So I got the radiator installed. I had some leftover M3 X, who knows, probably 10 millimeter fans, screws, whatever, for the Ghost. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to be removing the top panel I said I would never remove because it's a pain, because of the pressure. Basically, the fan on top has screws. Didn't leave a mark, we're good. So I don't want these because this adds probably like a millimeter on top of the case. If I had screws that were countersunk, M3, those screws came in today. I can use those right now. I could. I could, actually. I don't know if they're inside or if they're in the mailbox. I have to go check. Anyway, so if I do put the countersunk screws in, then it shouldn't add anything to the top. So let's just try this now. Because the rad's in place, I don't have to do anything, so it's exactly how I want it. Shit, does it still move? Up and down a little bit, there's some play, it's not that big a deal. When I put this on, it'll squeeze it back in. So, there, this part on, and then you just push down, and then you tighten it. But the pressure that you're applying is not causing any bowing or anything, so it's not a big deal at all. Actually, it's perfectly fine. So yeah, I don't know the perfect way to route your cables. If I give up, I might just order P-Slates cables, or I'll probably ask Ray for custom lengths based off my measurements. I'm not sure. I'm not. I know some people want to do the 90 degrees rotation. I mean, it's okay. You can use a shorter 24 pin cable if you do it like that, and that's fine. But yeah, I'm probably just gonna sell these cables off. I'll show you when I flip it. So Yeah, right now I can close this up. This is fine, so I'm happy with this. So, close this out. Yeah, the big screws just makes it a lot easier. So look, I put one end in, and now just screwing it, and it's really easy. Like I don't have to put like crazy amounts of pressure. So that's nice. So this is definitely a lot better than yesterday. And I'm not gonna have the fan scraping, the 15mm fan, so I am happy, yes. Okay, so yeah, once you really get like the parts in, then it's just a matter of like how do you do all these cables like perfect. So even if I unmount the CPU block, I can still do all the cables, I think, with the rad in place. It's not that bad. I do have another fan for this. It's not going to stay like that, don't worry. It's in the other room. So I'm going to work on the 24-pin cable. I'm going to see if I can clean this up a little bit. Honestly, it sticks out a little bit, as you can see above the PSU. So if I wrap it around the back and then pop it in, I think I can just round it and the pressure will go right here. And yeah, I mean, that's really the only thing that's causing a bulge on my side panel. Otherwise, honestly, you can leave. I thought this would be worse than the Ghost, you know, like, because you can actually see inside it with the mesh. No, you can't. If I shine the flashlight, like, you barely see through it. Doesn't matter at all. So, we'll do that now. Alright, you guys can voice your opinions on how the chromax look. But yeah, but basically it would match, you know, so if I put the black on top, then obviously all black together looks nicer than having cream. Just the 25mm fans look black. Damn, bro. That's insane. This fits so easily. If you take the rubber pads off of the Noctua fans, it closes so much easier. Yeah. And the chromax fans don't come with... Okay. The brown ones come with the pads on installed. And it makes it a little bit thicker. But this doesn't come with it, so when you load it up like this, you put this on. Yeah, look, I didn't even have to crush it. It just fits perfect, actually. Wow. Well, this is painful. Most likely. I kind of wish I had 3 chromax fans and I just had a chromax fan in there as well, because now I'm gonna have to do this again. But I wasn't sure if I wanted to run 3 brown fans, because I would have had, you know, this isn't even in chromax, 25 millimeter NFA 12x25. So, but yeah, with the chromax, it's nice. Honestly, it's not terrible with that brown fan. If I'd be entirely honest with you, you're not even going to see it. So I'm still doing the cable management. The way I routed my 24-pin cable, fantastic, bro. So I'll show you after this. It's crushing something. Okay, 1 second. Alright. So if we take the mesh panel, right? I don't know if I can close it on this end because there's so much activity, but we will try it. I still feel like I have to force close this, but I don't know what it looks like to you guys. Can you see inside it? See, you can barely see inside it. So, if you want to save money, you barely see the round fans. And I think the chromax fans are like $26 a pop. And they don't come with fan splitters. They just come with a bunch of colored vibration pads, which you can't use in this case anyway. So, just putting the mesh panels down. So, if you bought just the brown fans, they're $19.99 a pop. They're usually always in stock. So if you want to get those, just get those. And then just remember, rip the little sticky pads off of them. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then if you're running 3 of them, which you can, I mean, I would say just top them out at around 70% of the fan, 80%. Like, don't make it spin more. But yeah, that'd be fine. So if I ran this AIO just like this and I don't move it, I'm still thinking if I do the brown fans, then I have to replace this again. Do I think it's going to be as brutal as I think it's going to be? Not really. I just have to unscrew the rad, pull it out, and put it back in. But I know how to do it now, and it's not bad. Building a case is kind of brutal, but installing a AIO and a large top hat and putting it at the bottom is pretty bad too. All these cases are different, so I haven't worked with a lot of SFF cases, but I learned, so pretty much I can do this way faster now. So if I had to build this for like my cousin or something, or like, I don't know, somebody, friend, whoever, yeah. With the stock cables, I'm still trying to think what's the best way to lay this out. So yeah, but I'm probably just gonna sell off these ghost cables. There's no point keeping this. They work, but they're not perfect for this case, and we want perfect. Alright, so I removed 4 anti-vibration octavo pads from the top, so when the case is touching the top, when the fans are touching the top of the case, there is no padding. So it was a bit harder than when I just showed you with the chromax fans, but it was easier than when having pads on both sides. But vibration pads on this end, and then, like I said, touching the radiator, I don't think you need it for above that. So I'm going to leave it like that. The other one was a little bit too much pressure, and I didn't like that. I just don't want to cause any bowing. I don't want to do what Optimum did. I just want it to be, good. 3 slim fans up. I'm going to be pretty happy with that performance. There's nothing really that's going to need that much heat. If I'm just using a 240 CPU, 240 mil AIO with a Ryzen CPU, like me going from a 9900K to that, like that's already probably half the power usage. So yeah, I don't know how much more a 240 mil copper rad XSPC, more channels, everything, more airflow can handle doing a GPU and CPU. If that's too hot, then I would just run CPU with a 240 AIO, and I just get the biggest GPU I could fit into this. And there is a ton of space. So we'll see. Honestly, so people are running that weird combination where they have the power supply facing this way, so it'd be facing you. So if you did have a Founders Edition RTX 3080 Ti, and one fan is, I believe one is facing here and the other one's facing here, or one fan's here and the other one's over here. It's over here. So the other fan is on this motherboard side, so I guess it sucks heat off your NVMe drive. I don't know how that's gonna work. I mean, luckily this is a 3 slot, so I can move it over just one section to the edge, and then it has a gap of what would be 1 slot. So if that actually functions as a way to cool my NVMe drive, that'd be hilarious, because that'd be fantastic. So we would have this GPU fan, not only dispersing the heat from the GPU, but that would also help, suck some heat off the NVMe drive. I know NVMe's like heat. It's just I just want it to be within the warranty temperatures. I just don't want it to go to like 90 or anything ridiculous. So yeah, I mean, there's options. Before I do a loop, I'm going to be 100% sure, so I understand how everything works. If the trade-offs are way too much on this case, then obviously just wait for the FormD P1. The design isn't final, but honestly I think it's just going to be the smallest, best performing 30 mil, 280 mils in length, copper rad that can fit in whatever is the smallest case that Wahaha can make. And then I was thinking it would use 140 millimeter fans, but then maybe just make it small enough so that copper radiator for a custom loop would barely fit in there. And then what you would do is you would just use 120 millimeter fans to 140 millimeter Noctua adapter, and then just use the NFA12 X25s, and then you would just use 2 of these. And these, if you look at, I don't remember the guy's test, but he tests like all of the best fans, and if you actually see, this fan performs better than most 140 millimeter fans. But if Noctua made a 140 for this, like, that would destroy. I'm not looking at buying a 160 millimeter fan for any cases, so that'd be awesome. So yeah, the next thing I'd probably buy is a P1 next year, so we'll see. The only other thing that I'd look at is probably the Dankey C4, and he's adding 280 millimeter AIO support. 280 millimeter AIOs are actually a lot bigger than just 280 millimeter copper rads. It's like a good 5 millimeters in length and width. It's not really width, but it's longer. Like, it's different. It's not like 240 millimeter copper rads where the tolerances are usually almost the same exact as the 240 millimeter AIOs radiators that are aluminum are about the same as the 240 millimeter copper rads, like the length and width and the dimensions. So yeah, that case is really only supposed to be a 240 millimeter AIO supporting case. And if you want to use a custom loop like you can in this case, for that one it would be a 280 mil. I would most likely get the vertical orientation because I like that you can put it vertically, and then you can have the wires hidden on the bottom or top, flip it, whatever you want. But yeah, that's pretty nice. I mean, I could use this like a Velcro too, but the cables would come out the back and it will come out the top. I mean, all you have to do is really put rubber feet on the front of the case, and you could just put it vertically like this. So I think vertically it would look really nice. And then if you have a CPU water block and a GPU water block, those are exposed. I'm gonna still look into. The only reason why I wouldn't buy a Dankey C4 is because it all depends on if it has dual rad support. If it's only just a 280 millimeter rad and it can't fit an XSPC TX240 copper rad below the GPU water block, then it's pointless to me. I don't care. I don't really like the design that much, and I don't care too much about its multitude of options and layouts for air cooling and all that. It's a great case if I had to recommend it to somebody, because I like it more than the end case design. The end case is good too, but just a vertical version of this with a bigger rad and custom loop and a P1 would be really nice, and then you could hide the cables. That'd be really nice. And if I really needed more radiator support, I would probably look into just quick disconnects and an external rad, and then whenever I'm not at my house, it would just use the 280. But then when I'm at my house, or the desk or whatever, then it would use the external rad that I have next to it. So that's another project I would look into, but for now let's just wrap this up. Okay, since I mounted and remounted my cooler a few times, I'm putting some liquid metal onto the die because it just looks like it's missing a bit. So that's what I'm doing, if you're curious. It's like spreading cream cheese on a bagel. Alright, I spent a lot of time trying to get this cable management on point, but I mean, look, it's okay. It's not that bad. I mean, I could probably do better. It's definitely better in my first attempt. Each time you get better. It's not a big deal. So I think I'm gonna go. Nope, still don't know. I think for now, because I got the silver case, I wanted the cream fans, so I'll throw in another cream fan. But let's close this up and start working on the GPU. So that looks good. The only con is the side panel will bulge because this AIO tubing is so thick, but it's fine. So yeah, here's the GPU part, right? And my hands don't have any liquid metal, right? I'm just making sure. What's it? I just dumped some isopropyl alcohol in the gloves. So this is the RMA'd GPU, so we're gonna attach it to the riser. Let's see if it's super tight like last time. And I think I put the power cables in first, and then I put the GPU, because it was easier that way. Struggled a lot to put this one in, this cable. Alright, well, I'm gonna struggle a lot again. Okay, just let go. Oof, look at that. This fucker is tight. Oh. Okay. Alright, GPU is in. What else do I have to do? I thought about adding this because I thought it'd be cool. PCIe slot from my old PC case. Wow, that actually helps hold it this way. That's actually pretty nice. So if you have one, I would recommend doing it. Wow, that was kind of like the issue that wasn't holding it in place. So, I mean, my power supply cable probably, right? It's tight. If it was, I need to get new cables because it like goes around back like that. I want it to, I think PCLA made new cables where it breaks out like at the point of contact, like here, so you can make it go straight and then over, or just like make it go down, back, and then around here, and then clip right there. That would be clean. I think I could order like 150 if I route it like that. So, yeah, whatever. I'll ask. We'll see. Ray would be cheaper, but PCLA already has the links, and then if you don't want to, do any math, it's easier. But yeah, I mean, that's how it is. It looks pretty good. So we're pretty much done. Just gonna put on the mesh panels, other fan, and we're good. Okay, so real quick, just want to show how I zip tied that. And yep, last part. Added the other fan and close it all up. I already did the wire management, so it's easy to add the other fan. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Okay, so I'll jump to where it's finally done. And here we are, boys. It is finally done. My FormD T1. Looks great, and I'm super happy. Got my RMA'd GPU. Obviously test it if it works. Power button's really nice, hear the click. But yeah, you can take this as like build log part 3, I guess. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Bye bye.